These mummy pastries are spookalicious and perfect for a Halloween party. They are super adaptable and you can use whatever fillings you want. Pack them with veggies, red peppers add an extra ghoulish touch, or ham and cheese. These use the same rough puff pastry as our blueberry pastries, but if you want to use shot put puff pastry, go for it. There's absolutely no judgment here. Very important, make sure you put your butter in the freezer the day before because we need it frozen solid for this one. So we've got our plain flour here, and now I'm going to grate the butter exactly the same as we did for the blueberry pastries. So make sure you've got your arm muscles ready. Ooh, here we go. This is a great bit to get the kids to do because it saves your arm. Or it's something you can do beforehand. Grate the butter and then pop it in the freezer until you're ready to use it. I love the way frozen butter looks. Right, I'm going to tip that into my flour and carry on with the rest. Now remember that this pastry likes to be super cold, so the quicker we can do this bit the better, but don't worry, if it does get a bit warm we're going to chill it down anyway. My Fitbit thinks that I've just completed my steps for the day. Obviously grating counts as steps. Right, okay. I'm going to stop there because otherwise I am going to grate my fingers. Right, so once we've got all our butter in the bowl. Okay. A few bits have escaped, but that's fine. Once we've got all the butter in the bowl, I'm going to use a knife, a butter knife, to mix it in. Now this stops the butter warming up if you're using a wooden spoon, and not use your hands at this bit because it will melt the butter. So the kids always find it really fascinating, this bit. Why on earth are you mixing with a knife? So you can tell them it's to keep the butter cool because pastry likes to be cold. And what you're going for is so that the butter is all coated in the flour. I'm going to add initially about 6 tablespoons of cold water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to use my knife again. Now I think when you're adding tablespoons of anything, it's a perfect little counting activity to do with your really little ones. And again, just keep mixing it through with the knife and it will probably start coming together. I'd imagine you're still going to have lots of dry bits. So I'm going to add a couple more tablespoons. 1, 2. And then at this point, it should all start coming together. Now, I've probably used the knife as much as I can, so I am going to put my hands in now. But the longer you can mix with the knife, the better. Ooh, yes, still nice and cold. So I'm literally just going to bring it together to see if it's forming a dough yet. No, we're not quite there. Still dry bits, so I'm going to add some more water. Now, this can depend on how humid it is, how much water you need to add. Definitely depends on the day. So I'm going to add another 2. Just do 6 to 8 tablespoons initially, and then add a tablespoon at a time until you get the right consistency, and I'll show you what that consistency should be. So this is a great part for the little ones to do. You can add the water and they can see if it's at the right consistency yet, and after you've made it a few times, they'll start to know what the consistency should be. Right, so you can see there that it's come together. It's still a little bit flaky at the sides, but that's absolutely fine. I'm going to stop there and not add any more water. I'm going to get my pastry out onto the surface. Tip any bits out. And very briefly, I'm just going to shape it into a circle. I'm going to wrap that in cling film and I'm going to chill that for about 20 minutes. I'm using cling film here. I'm trying to use less of it for environmental reasons, and they do make lovely, lovely beeswax wraps, which are perfect if you're doing lots of baking because they act like cling film. Really clever, and you can reuse them time and time again. So I'm going to wrap it in cling. As with everything, when I chill it, I always just press it down a bit once it's in the cling film, because if it's a bit flatter, the disc is a bit flatter, it will chill quicker, and it's also done a little bit of the rolling for you. So we're going to wrap that in cling, and I'm going to pop that in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's firmed up a little bit. Our rough puff pastry has chilled and we're ready to roll it out. This is a good time to pop your oven on to 180 fan, 200 conventional. Now, I'm going to unwrap my pastry. Yep, lovely and chilled. Now I am going to flour my surface. Oh, that might be a little bit too much flour. Right, yeah, that's way too much flour. I'm just going to push some of the flour to the side. I can bring it in if I need it. The reason we flour our surface is so that the pastry doesn't stick as it gets warm. And I'm just going to sprinkle a bit of flour over the top as well. Again, you can prepare this pastry in advance, and then the kids can just do the rolling out and the cutting, or just the cutting. Or you can buy shop bought puff pastry. Seriously, no judgment. The kids will still really enjoy it. So we're trying to roll our pastry out into a rectangle that's about the thickness of a pound coin. So don't worry about the size of the rectangle, just aim for a rectangle shape as best you can. That's about the thickness of a pound coin. Just make sure it's not sticking, lift it up every now and again, bring a bit more flour under. So again, it's a good bit to do with the kids. What shape is it? What shape should it be? And what you'll notice is your rough puff will get neater as we fold it. The reason we fold it, and this is a good one to tell the little ones, is that we want to add the layers. So when it puffs up in the oven, and you see those layers, that's what these folds are doing. So I'm going to fold 1/3 over, stretch it out a little bit, straighten it up a little bit. Then I'm going to brush off any excess flour. Brush it off, brush it off, brush it off. I'm going to fold this third over that one. Stretch it out a little bit. Stretch it down that way a little bit. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. I'm going to roll it out into a rectangle, about the thickness of a pound coin. You can see the rectangle has started to neaten up a little bit. That's a sign that you're on the right track. Again, don't worry about the size of the rectangle. Just worry, or don't worry, just try and aim for a rectangle. Be a little bit thinner, I think. You can see all the lovely butter marbled in the pastry. That's something to point out to the kids, that when you grated that butter earlier, that's what's happened now, it's marbling into the pastry. Again, that adds to giving us those layers. So I'm going to do the exact same fold. Fold that end third into the middle, press down, brush off the pastry, brush off the flour, excess flour. Then I'm going to fold this third on top again, neaten it up a little bit, and brush off any excess flour. Right, that is our puff pastry ready to use. If you do have time, pop that back in the fridge to chill for another 15-20 minutes, but it still feels nice and cold to me, so we could just crack on and use it. We're going to roll our pastry out. Again, to a rectangle shape, but this time you want to go a bit thinner, more kind of the thickness, somewhere between a pound coin and a 50p piece, I'd say. Ooh. I really think, you know, teaching kids to use a rolling pin is really important, because it does take a bit of practice. And teaching them as well to try and roll it out so it's all the same thickness. Because what Nora tends to do with a rolling pin, bless her, is she'll roll out one half and then leave the other half unrolled. So I'm trying to sort of teach her that we need it all to be the same thickness. Again, you can see that lovely butter marbled through the pastry. Okay, that looks good to me. About the right thickness. Yeah, not sticking too much to my surface. Ooh. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out some rectangles. Depends on what size you want your pastries to be. You could do big rectangles, you could do smaller rectangles. Mine are about 10 centimetres by about 20. I'm doing this by eye though, I'm not going to worry about measuring it. Last time I checked, I don't think mummies are all the same size, so. Right, this excess pastry, just pop it to one side because you can use it to make some little mini puff pastry things, or you can wrap it in cling film, fold it over nicely, wrap it in cling film, pop it back in the fridge and use it at another time. Now I'm going to pop my rectangles onto a bit of parchment on a baking tray. Then I'm going to bring that in. Okay, now it's time to make some mummies. This is the bit that the kids really love. I'm just going to divide my bits of pastry into thirds. So you can see there. Again, this is very rough. We're not going to stress about exact measurements. And then you want to cut slits from the middle third to the outer edge. And you want to do this on both sides. This is definitely something the kids can do. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. They can be different sizes. It really doesn't matter. And you don't need too sharp a knife to do it. But again, you can use a sharper knife, monitor them really closely. And help sort of teach them to use knives. Sensibly, obviously. So you'll be able to feel the pastry warming up at this point. It'll start to get a little bit stickier. So just keep going. I'm going to turn it around to do the other bits. They don't have to be even. They don't have to be the same size. You're just going for strips because these are going to be the mummy's bandages wrapped around the mummy's insides. For this filling, I'm going to use a little bit of cream cheese and some red peppers. Now, you can put whatever you want in these. Again, this is something you can talk to your kids about. What are their favourite flavours? What's their favourite vegetables they'd like to put in here? You can make them sweet and put some cream cheese and maybe some raspberries. The reason I'm using red peppers is because it just looks a bit ghoulish at Halloween. Looks a bit like blood. So the kids think it's a bit like, ooh. So again, you can have the same effect with some cream cheese. Squish up some raspberries and put them in. Or you can fill it with some meats. You could put some hot dogs inside. Whatever you want. So again, you can see I'm not being overly neat here. Same way the kids do not need to be overly neat here. Pop this cream cheese on. And then on top of the cream cheese, I'm going to put my peppers. So I've just got strips of peppers here. And I'm going to squish them down. Pop them on. Squish them in. Right, so that's my filling. So simple, so easy. Cream cheese, a bit of red pepper. Now I'm going to egg wash. And what I mean by that is I'm going to paint the pastry with some beaten egg. Again, perfect job for the kids. Just the bits that you can see, egg wash them. And this is going to help us stick our mummy's bandages around the filling. There we go, right. Egg wash on. Marvellous. Now we're going to wrap the mummies up. All we're going to do is we're going to bring the pastry across, and because these are meant to be mummies, you can do this quite haphazardly. So I'm going to do those first two. Oh, a bit of excess flour there. And then I'm going to go a bit random. So I'm going to put that one up there. He's going to come down and go over there. I'm going to do two from the same direction. He's going to come up over there. And down that. I'm going to expose a bit of the pepper there so you can see it. So the kids can do this bit. It's perfect for them because they don't have to worry about being neat. Just go for it. Now we've got our little mummy. I'm just going to do that with the others. There we go, we've wrapped our mummies up. Like I said, haphazardly, that's the idea because it's meant to look like a mummy's bandages. Then I'm gonna egg wash, or paint them with egg, as Nora says. Again. Now there's two options for the eyes. I've actually bought some edible eyes from the supermarket. Again, just my local supermarket. Most supermarkets have a really great baking range these days. The other option is you can use black olives. Just cut them into little rings and pop them on his eyes. Okay, they look nice and egg washed. Make sure they're all pressed down. Lovely. I'm gonna pop them in the oven for about 20 minutes or so until they're lovely and golden brown and risen. The flour off the bottom. Our mummies are out of the oven. Here we go. I'm going to get them off the tray. Oh, they look yummy. I can smell the pepper. Here are our absolutely spooktacular mummy pastries wrapped up in delicious rough puff. They're filled with yummy red pepper and cream cheese. Happy Halloween!